Thank you for joining us this evening. This is the beginning of the second week, and the second week we're going to be, as promised, we're going to be talking all about supplements, dotFIT supplements specifically, and we're going to spend the entire week talking about. Tonight we're going to be just giving you a brief overview of why we've chosen the dotFIT supplements. You kind of already know our experience and what we're going through. But we want to tell you why we chose the dotFIT supplements, and then we want to show you specifically what supplements we're taking and how we're using them, and real briefly what they're used for. And then each day after that, we're going to get into a different segment of the dotFIT products. I'm actually going to step behind the camera. We're going to do more screenshots, and I'm going to kind of talk and then kind of show you some of the different things. Using some screenshots and why, getting into the science of each of the products. But we're just going to really briefly talk about some of them right now. And so that's the big question, is why. And I'm going to outline 6 bullet points on why we've chosen dotFIT over other companies. I was involved with a number of other companies for a number of different years. Worked for a particular supplement company for 5 or 6 years, and we've been so incredibly pleased with dotFIT. Our results have been great, and we're really happy with it. And being in the industry as long as we have been, we did our due diligence. We researched a lot before we really chose. It wasn't hook, line, and sinker. Some guy told us dotFIT's the best, so we just hook, line, sinker bought into it. We did our due diligence. Have spent a number of years looking at dotFIT and the track history, and then looking at these 6 major points, and then made our decision to align ourselves with dotFIT and their supplements. But the 6 major points that I want to kind of talk to you about tonight are, number 1, the clinical research. That's the first point. And all dotFIT product ingredients, they undergo thorough pre-development analysis, including clinical research supporting ingredient use, dosage, and safety. The products are constantly reevaluated and updated as necessary. So that, and I'm kind of taking some of these points directly from the dotFIT site, but it's the research that really, and the overwhelming research that we found, really that was intriguing to us. The second point is they have the best in-class delivery system. It's from taking different absorption and receptor sites in the body. dotFIT products ensure that the proper amounts of the right ingredients get to the proper tissues at the right times. So it's more about than just having a number of ingredients, a number of good quality ingredients in the product. You want them to synergistically work together in the right delivery form to be used at the right times for your body for the right purpose. And all of the dotFIT products are formulated for that purpose in mind. Great manufacturing practices. Just because something is made in a lab or made, or manufactured, doesn't mean that it's necessarily produced well. And dotFIT uses very good manufacturing practices. The fourth thing is synergistic formulas. If you'll notice, a lot of their, especially when we go into greater depth, the formulas are not individual, like individual ingredients in that particular product. They're all synergy. There's a number of different ingredients in each particular product that all are designed synergistically to work together to reach that goal that the product was designed for. The fifth point that we liked is there's something for everyone. So, pretty much any client that we have, whether they're beginner, advanced, bodybuilder, stay-at-home mom, working class person that's out and really busy, there is something that is for everyone. And the final point is, as far as put question mark, they are here to help. I have known that, or noticed that when I have questions about the product, I can contact them directly, contact some of the people I know within the company, get some particular questions answered very quickly, and they definitely are there to help people. So that are the 6 major points on why we've chosen dotFIT, and why we align ourselves. We are not a company. Your Virtual Fitness is not a company that aligns ourselves with multiple companies. It's just a couple. It's dotFIT, National Academy of Sports Medicine, and that's about it. There's a few other companies that we do work with here and there, but we believe in finding the best in the industry at what they do that are as close to our beliefs as possible, and then align ourselves with them. In the coming days, we're going to talk about 4 different product categories that dotFIT has. The first one is health.fit. They have a whole product line just for health, and we're going to talk about that in detail, full presentation on that. They have a line specifically for weight loss called weightloss.fit that we're going to spend a presentation talking about that. They have a product line called Performance that we're going to spend a presentation speaking about that. And finally, one of their areas is called Nutrition.fit, and we're going to spend a full presentation speaking about that. But I want to show you real quickly about some of the supplements that we are taking right now. And I've got a few notes or a few things that are going to flash up on the screen to tell you. The first thing is, obviously I have to take a multivitamin. That is your building block. It's what everything functions off of in your system. And it's impossible to know what you're lacking. It's impossible to know what vitamin or nutrient you're lacking. So this is a very well-rounded, very good quality multivitamin that we take. Now, Jennifer takes one, but the difference is the women's multivitamin is specifically designed just for women, and it has higher levels of magnesium, iron, and folic acid, specifically for women. So this is a great multivitamin that Jennifer takes. Also, we'll start with the smaller products, work up into the bigger products. The superior antioxidant. I'm a really big believer in taking antioxidants directly after training. In fact, they should be taken throughout the day, but I take them post-training. I take usually 2 post-training. And basically, as I've got notes written down on each of the supplements, but antioxidant is what I personally call stress support. People have stress in their lives. Exercise puts stress on people's bodies, and the supplement, and a really good antioxidant will fight free radicals that are, you'll keep your immune system strong. It protects your cells from the free radicals that get built up through stress, through strenuous activity, and so this is a stress support product that can help your gains really, really well. We also take what's called Super Omega-3. It's an omega-3 fatty acid. Anyone who tells you that no fat should be in your diet is giving you false information. You do need fat in your diet, and when you go on a more strict plan, a lot of times your dietary fat levels will get low, and so you need to supplement them with good forms of fat. Fat is not just fat. There's different forms of fat that are better quality than others that have different purposes that we'll talk about more specifically when we get into that particular chapter. But we take Super Omega-3 by dotFIT. Now we get into some of the different fat loss products. Now there are some products that we are not using right now that dotFIT does make. We'll probably introduce that if Jennifer and I decide that we're going to compete or something like that. And also too, I shouldn't, I won't come across and say people shouldn't use a lot of supplements. People would benefit from using all the different products. We are wanting the maximum. We want to show you what's possible with taking the product. I've seen people that have taken just a few products and have great results. So it's not necessary to take all that we're taking, but it certainly wouldn't hurt either. This particular product, Carb Repel, is something that, like we mentioned, Jennifer and I do up and down diets, where we do higher calorie days, lower calorie days. Carb Repel we use on a higher calorie, higher carbohydrate day, and that it kind of helps block the absorption of some of the starches that are in your body. Fat release is helps block some of the dietary fats that you ingest. It decreases the absorption of dietary fat is a more accurate way to say it. And so fat release is something we take on our lower calorie days when our fat content may be a bit higher. Thermexcel is a thermogenic agent that is great for stimulating your metabolism, or I should say your metabolic rate. Helps you burn extra calories. There's a number of different functions, from suppressing appetite and just all the different metabolic functions that are needed for greater weight loss. But these particular 3 products, Carb Repel, fat release, Excel, it will help your body naturally burn more calories throughout the day, and because it helps process the absorption of fat, blocking some starchy carbohydrates, it will also then allow you to burn greater fat because you're able to process that food and have a greater calorie balance. We'll talk about that more specifically in the future. And then real quickly, we want to go over some of the other products before we run out of time, because this is going to get kind of long. We take Muscle Defender, which is pure glutamine, which helps with recovery and a number of, which can lead to strength and muscle gains and so forth. But we use Muscle Defender. Amino Boost, which, a lot of these next products that I'm going to show you are in the lines of helping with recovery, help whenever you can recover from your workout, whenever you can increase the protein synthesis, training, minimize muscle, improving recovery by minimizing muscle damage. What that can do is that's just going to help you get stronger. It's going to help you put on more lean muscle tissue, which is going to end up helping you lose fat. So I particularly take Amino Boost XXL before and after training. In addition to that, I take Creatine XXL, which is going to, obviously creatine helps with strength, recovery, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to go a lot in the lines of the other two products that we just mentioned. It also has beta-alanine that is also in the product. This is a product that it's been a great product. I'm not losing weight, I'm gaining weight and getting stronger and leaner, and this is one of the products that I have a tremendous amount of faith in, that I know works very well. Something that Scott Pullen introduced me to is creatine monohydrate. That's obviously in creatine, but what I do is I maximize the creatine XXL and then start loading or taking a little bit more extra per week, like one extra pill per week of creatine monohydrate, and keep loading that on top to get a little bit more in my system each week. And finally, before we get into the proteins, NO7 Rage. This is probably my favorite product. It has a wonderful synergistic blend in it that gives you just some great training performances. That grit your teeth that I talk about, performance in the gym that's just out of this world. And it really helps with muscle pumps, performance, and all these different things that just makes your workouts go very, very well. And then finally, we have 3 different proteins that we use. We have Lean MR, which is a very nice blend. It's, per serving, it's 20 grams of protein, 24 grams of carbohydrates, very well blended. It's a multi-species protein, which means it uses more than one source of protein. And we'll talk more specifically about this particular product. All of the proteins are multi-species proteins, meaning that it uses more than one type of protein in the product. Whey Smooth is a little bit lower in carbohydrates, higher emphasis in protein. We use this on our lower calorie days. The Lean MR and the pre-post workout that I have right here, the pre-post per serving is about 37 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, a little bit higher of a ratio of carbohydrates, and we use this a lot on our our higher calorie days. So those are the different proteins. And finally, I want to close on the protein bars. We have different protein bars, and I'm about ready to run out of time because YouTube only gives me a certain amount of time. I'm just going to tell you that these bars are the best tasting. The ratios, good amount of protein, good amount of carbohydrates, very good quality, excellent tasting. We love the products. Stay tuned as we're going to talk more in depth about each of the products, product categories in our next presentation.